My name is Christina Sanders, and I'm an education major at Grayson County College, and I plan on continuing on to Texas Women's University, where I'll complete my education, or my bachelor's degree. So today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of stress factors that affect students all over the world and how they differ. So regionally, nationally, and globally, all students are seeing the effects of stress, and many of these stress factors are the same on each level. Some of these factors include academic pressure, pressure from parents, and financial pressure. All of these stress factors can take a toll on mental health. But how do these stress factors differ in global and nationally and regionally? So if you take a look on a global level in places such as China, in China they require a national entrance exam for all students, and there's very few students that get admitted into college, and it's all revolving around academic achievement. And students in these regions have a high stress factor because a lot is riding on their grades. So this is a big stress factor for students in these areas. So this can also be seen on a national level, where about only 5 or 6% of students that are admitted into colleges such as Harvard and Yale. So students that are trying to be admitted into these colleges, they have a huge stress factor when it comes to their academic achievement. And this can also be seen on a regional level. And students that are trying to juggle, say, full-time work and full-time school, I mean, the mental stress of being able to achieve academically and still fulfill life's duty, that's a big stress. So pressure from parents is also a big deal. Say if we look at the Asian culture again, it's ingrained in their culture to achieve academically because of the circumstances. They're expected to achieve academically, and the stress is on from their parents to do this, and this causes a high level of depression rate and anxiety rate in those regions. And the studies also show on a national level, studies have shown that American parents put too little stress on education, and the motivation of the students as far as parental involvement is very low, and this can compound stress because students aren't motivated to complete their studies. And also, is money a factor? Well, financially, on a global level, in places, say again, for instance, China, they have the majority of their education is subsidized by the government, so they have a lower tuition rate of only about $2,200 per year. But if you take, for example, on a national level, American students have a tuition rate of $8,000 to $24,000, so it would be a bigger stress level for American students. And on a regional level, Texas has raised its tuition a lot in the last 15 years, but the money coming from the state of Texas to fulfill this need is been lowered. So financial problems is a real stress, and in all levels nationally. So what are the statistics? How good are we good at coping nationally to all these possible stresses? Well, not so good. 45% of students claim to go through more than average stress, and 20% of students report going through 6 or more stressful experiences. A 2018 survey found that academic workload is the primary cause of stress. One that was extremely hard for 50.2% of college students to handle. So academic workload is a major stress. Financial stresses were the second most challenging issues for 35.9% of correspondents. A 2018 survey by the American College Health Association found that stress has substantially influenced on the academic performance of 33.2% of students surveyed. So stress is a real thing, and it's really causing problems in the academic fields. So with statistics like these, we need to make healthy coping a priority. So what are some things we don't do? We don't use drugs and alcohol to escape the stress. We don't engage in negative habits such as overeating or overspending. These things can just compound stress. We don't overwork ourselves to exhaustion. So we need to take time off. Too much work. If you work too hard and you're exhausted, you're not going to do your best work. Trust me, I know. You do eat healthy, exercise, practice time management skills, prioritize, and self-care. So all these things can help lessen the effects of stress. Thank you very much.